Next, we're going to welcome Dave Danchuk. Dave is a Coquitlam-based multimedia artist specializing in scroll-sawed wooden artwork. Dave is also an award-winning acrylic painter whose team won the second installment of the Golden Brush competition last year in Vancouver. Dave introduced Arts Connect to the Vancouver organizers, and we partnered with them in March to bring a great event to Port Moody. So thank you again, Dave, for helping us make that happen. Now, back to the scroll saw art. Dave's going to answer some questions for us, like, what is a scroll saw artist? And what inspires a scroll saw artist? And how to say scroll saw artist 3 times really, really fast. I'd like to invite Dave to come up and explain a bit about his artwork process and what inspires him to create. Thank you. Dave?
Sorry about the tongue twister there. So that's my weapon of choice, a scroll saw. It's 20 inches from the blade to the back of the saw. Remember that for the next couple slides. There's a blade that goes up and down, sort of like a sewing machine, but it's for cutting wood. And you can pretty much cut any pencil line you make. This is kind of a traditional scroll saw way of doing it, where you drill a hole and then scroll saw around, cut out the black pieces. The black is a backing board, so this is just 11 pieces. But the real pieces I like doing are coming up here. So that's 4 foot by 2 foot, which you can figure out on a 20-inch scroll saw is a little bit like playing chess, twister and limbo all at the same time. Yeah, so each piece is all colored after that, painted. This is another one that's 4 foot by 2 foot, Dimebag Daryl. His hair was very time-consuming. Yeah, lots of pieces in that one. So no 2 colors touch, if you notice that. My rules. This is Dimebag's brother, Vinny. They're both from the band Pantera. And when I took it to show Vinny, he was just speechless and signed it, which was, for me, it was one of the top things in my art career. This is a family that looks like mine. Kind of looks like me, I guess, in the bottom there. I don't know how many pieces are in this. It was just a cool picture that we took of my family, and I decided to scroll it. My daughter there, this is she spent some time with my mom for a couple days and came home and said these words to me. And I was like, holy smokes, that's pretty cool. I Googled it, and Hallmark hadn't stolen it yet. So I made a painting of it just so I remember what happened that day. This is my son. He's got into the scroll saw artwork now. It's his second project, a little robot. Not bad for a 5-year-old, I think. So scroll sawing's great for any of you in here. Super easy woodworking tool. This is a clown I did for a clown show. 2 foot by 2 foot. A lot of people think that the guy in the back is really angry, but he's just drunk. and I get a lot of comments like, "Oh, I hate clowns, but I like that." So I'm converting clown haters. I get a lot of extra pieces. So I decided to put them all together. You can see there's a J on the right there. There's a dragonfly on the left. Just extra pieces, so I put them together and make more art. This is about 3 foot across. And when I'm painting the pieces, I always end up with a little bit of extra paint in the cup, as most artists do. So I always have an extra canvas just to throw it on. So this was originally going to be a fiery mountain kind of thing, but I didn't like it, so I covered it up with a one-line drawing of a face, because that's what artists do. This is the golden brush competition, and some guy that looks like me. That's the painting that we did in 2 45-minute sessions. My team was Joe Gianoglio and Cesar Hugh. It was a pretty cool event, which we've done one in Coquitlam now. Oh, pardon me. I think you guys have heard of Pink Shirt Day. This was for Porter Elementary. They wanted, one of the students there wanted 350 shirts made. So I thought, oh, well, I can do that. They're hanging up now at Porter Elementary on the fence, if you want. I also do puzzles, which is kind of fun. I did this one, one of my son's birthday parties. I did one for every kid that showed up, and then let them paint them. And it was so cool to see one kid just went blue all over it. And I make a lot of name plaques too, because you can't really buy a Mattelli anything in a store. So if, a lot of my friends have a kid and then wait for me to give them the plaque. And this is what happens to wooden platters at my house. I've done this to a few of them. He dropped, though. He's been glued a couple times, but he's okay. The next one's another scroll sawed portrait I did. It was just a really cool picture of actually the first kind of golden brush event was with these guys at Chapters. There's 341 pieces in this one, I think, all hand painted twice, and it's very time consuming, but I love it. So speaking of time consuming, this is one of my last pieces. It's 2 foot by 3 foot, I think, and so I draw it all out in pencil, and then I've just started to cut the bigger pieces into smaller ones, which are easier to manage. And the next picture is a close-up of the eye once it's been painted. Told you. So I think there's about 21 pieces just in the eye alone, so I guess I do have some patience. And I'm coming up to slide 20, which is the last one, which is the finished product of this. It was my sister Simone. So 310 pieces in this, I think, and it's actually out in my truck. So if I'll grab it because there's no place to hang it here. But if anyone wants to see it, I'll hang it up. And you can see more of the making of stuff on my website at amazecreations.com. Thanks for coming.